Guys, it's finally here. We finally have gotten to this point. We are doing, that's right, the Overlord Dragon, which is personally the most highly anticipated set for me, and this is the one that I wanted the most when I saw all the release pictures for this wave. And this really hits a spot for me because, well, when I went to Toys R Us and bought all the other sets, this wasn't on the shelves, so I got this a little later, about a week or two later after I got all the other ones. But I'm glad I finally have it, and that I can finally I finally have it built in front of you and doing this review for you guys. So this Overlord Dragon is the first time LEGO's actually officially done the Overlord Dragon. This has been a highly requested thing to become a set from the Ninjago fans. The Overlord Dragon went all the way back to 2013 with season 3 of the Ninjago, which was supposed to be the final season, but obviously the fans pushed for the theme to continue, and LEGO continued. But given with everything else that came later on, people were like, are we never going to get an Overlord Dragon? Because the Overlord Dragon was definitely a really awesome villain creature. I mean, it is the Overlord in a possessed Garmadon body, which then converted him into this dragon, but still, it was awesome looking, and we wanted to see a set for him. But LEGO finally answered our prayers for Legacy, and they brought an official Overlord Dragon here. Now, I will talk about the price and everything, but I want to save that for the final verdict because I don't want to keep this intro too long. So, enough talking. Let's get right into the set. My. Why am I so hyped for this set? Well, it's simply because this is my childhood. I grew up watching Ninjago, and this was in the 3rd season, meaning this was in 2013, and I was 10 years old? Actually, no. I think I was 6 years old. 6, 7 years old, around that time. And yeah, I was like, LEGO, why didn't you make a set of this awesome dragon? People have made mocks and everything. And finally, LEGO's answered our prayers. Here we are. And my first impressions, even after looking at the set images way before this was officially out, I was all for it. I was like, I don't care how much it is, I'm getting this guy no matter what. So here we are. And now that I have the physical thing in front of my eyes, all built up, and being in the same room as me, I like it. Some people didn't really like it because it was a little skinny, it lacked a little bit, but I really liked it. I really like it. And it screams purple. It has so much purple. Purple lovers are gonna go crazy over this. The size of him, of course, we'll talk more about the size in the end, but the size is a pretty decently sized dragon given the price. Hence why in 2019, when Legacy first came out, one of the first things they remade was the Golden Dragon, which is this little small sucker, which was $24, or which was like a $24 set. And back then I was like, why did they make this guy so small when I first got this set? Now I understand why. It was to match the size of this Overlord Dragon, because yes, the Overlord Dragon is meant to be bigger than the Golden Dragon by a ton. So there we go. Not a lot of YouTubers have done this. I will be the first to put the Golden Dragon next to the Overlord Dragon. And this is recreating the scene from Season 3, the final battle with Lloyd and the Golden Dragon showing off against the Overlord Dragon. And look at that. So that's the David versus Goliath scenario right there. And that is a pretty good one upsize. So this, in terms of lore, makes sense. This is good. However, the first version of the Golden Dragon, which was made back in 2013, was this baby. No, I didn't get this dragon recently. I actually got the Golden Dragon in 2013 when it came out. So this guy has been collecting a lot of dust, I will say that. So if I put him next to the Overlord Dragon, they are about the same size. which is why I think why LEGO shrunk the Legacy Golden Dragons, because if they kept the Golden Dragon this size, then the Overlord Dragon would need to be like Ultra Dragon size. So there's that. So they're about the same size, the old Golden Dragon and the Overlord Dragon right there. So in terms of the LEGO's gotten pretty good with sizing these dragons and keeping them at an affordable price, that's for sure. So let's get right into the Overlord Dragon itself. So first and foremost, the legs. Oh, look at these claws. Oh, that looks great. This looks awesome. The purple makes everything look so much cooler, believe me. Down here we've got his little rib cage thing with like a little orb. I think this might be his like power or his core or something. The tail just fell off. Whoops. And we've also got this lightning bolt at the bottom here. I think that adds a little bit of finesse, and that really makes him look, you know, a lot more fearsome. Hang on, the tail just, I don't know why the tail just fell off. I didn't even like do anything. There we go. Okay, what was I saying? So in terms of articulation, the joints, the ankles can be moved, so you pull them all the way back, and then they'll make it look like he's flying. And then these are on just standard ball joints, and then the main leg itself is on ratchet joints, so you can fold it all the way up, all the way down, kind of like make it look like he's like, you know, spreading his legs out for his flying actions, if you will, or just makes it look like he's just running on land. I mean, no one ever said dragons can't run on land. So there's that. Another piece just fell off. I'm not quite sure what that was. All right, I fixed it. Okay, moving on. So we've got the tail back here. So so we looked at the legs. Now let's look at the tail. Very, very swooshable, as you can see. It is. I don't know what to call these pieces, but they do allow you to swing the tail back and forth, and so you can create some motion and then potentially hit other dragons or other things, if you will. One of my favorite things about this tail is the blades at the back here. These purple blades, which are also used on his wings, but you also get them as the tail here, and that really gives an extra length to the tail. So that's pretty nice. I do have them fanned like this, but they are on ball joints, so you can actually close them back in if you want to completely close it like that. But I just personally think they look a lot cooler if you fan them out a little bit, just like this. So there's that. So it is a little heavy though, and as you saw earlier, if I drag on the ground too long, it could sometimes just break off. So that's one of the weak points for this set, is that the tail it looks great, but it's a little weak in terms of the foundations, that's for sure. And there's a lot of purple specks going up here, and that again gives texture as well as the look and the colors, which is very, very nice. And of course, every dragon, you gotta look at the wings and how the wings are built. Looks like they've gone old school with this. They usually in the current Ninjago dragons, they either do a skeleton build like this, or they stick a giant plastic or fabric thing over and just give it body. But I think they went old school with this guy and just went back to the old roots of putting big Hero Factory blades as the wings on here. And the fact that these blades are in purple, yeah, baby, getting these purple blades, you're gonna get abundant of these blades here. And if you're still into Hero Factory, these would be some pretty nice additions to the collection, I'm just saying. In terms of articulation, this is on a ball joint, so you can fold the wings all the way down like this, or spread them out when he's flying or something, or move them up. It looks like he's flapping those wings, or have them back to give him more, you know, altitude and cover more distance, or fold them in so he looks more intimidating, or, you know, you can do all sorts of things. Oh yeah, that looks intimidating. Oh, that definitely looks intimidating. So because they're on ball joints, you have massive flexibility of what you want to position these wings in. Normally with other dragons, there'd be like a mechanism for you to flap the wings, but I'm glad LEGO's given the flexibility of whatever you want to do here. So there's that. And then I guess one of the main other things here is the main body itself up here. Yes, you can technically put the Overlord minifigure and have him ride it. I've seen many people do that, and I think it's designed so you can do that, for the Overlord to ride himself, if you will, because, well, the dragon is the Overlord. So it's not the Overlord's pet or anything. This is the Overlord himself. So, I appreciate that you can stick the minifigure in the back, but it's kind of weird seeing the Overlord ride himself. You know where I'm going at here. And I mean, if you haven't watched the lore or you haven't watched the series, then I'll just say this is Garmadon, possessed by the Overlord, and then he transformed into this dragon. So, yeah. So this is technically the Overlord. One of the last things I want to show you, of course, is the head. The head is on a ball joint, so in terms of the neck and posability, you can actually rotate this. Oh my goodness, lots of articulation points. You can turn this head some pretty good distance. Can definitely give some pretty cool angles, and of course it will really help with expression. So like this will give like a curious face. This will, if you make him look down on like the ninja or something, that'll definitely look intimidating. Or if Lloyd is in the golden dragon attacking from above, he can look up and prepare to fight back or something. So lots of articulation points are happening with the neck here. So the ball joint system is definitely a lifesaver for Lego, that's for sure. And the neck itself is built pretty nicely, but the spikes here really gives them the extra look. And of course, one of the more interesting things of this guy is probably this new head mold. I think it's a new head mold, and it is the same piece, top and bottom, and the teeth are molded onto the head. So that, and the teeth are going, oh, that definitely looks really cool. You can open this mouth really wide if you want, or you can also fold this up if you want and create like almost like an overbite, if you will, or an underbite if you want. You can do an underbite if you want, but I think keeping in between is appropriate because this is attached on like skeleton arms. And of course, one of the main weaknesses for dragons is seeing the hollow inside of their heads with their mouth opened. So there's that. Although that sacrifice will allow you to open his mouth really big, giving a loud roar or a big chomp or something, if you will. Just, oh my goodness. The head is definitely a really nice feature for this guy, that's for sure. Lots of spikes happening with the bottom part here, so that's pretty nice. This is the top with one single spike. You've got his eyes printed on there. These are printed, so special mold for this dragon. Definitely really cool, and lots of expressions and flexibility with posability is definitely most visible here. My favorite thing of this head was most likely the teeth, because they're a little bit out of shape, and they're meant to be out of shape. It gives him that evil look when they're like, he looks like a monster, if you will. So overall, I am 100% happy with this dragon. Everything about him I absolutely like. It's amazing. This dragon, much more than just childhood nostalgia. This dragon is everything I wanted. The Overlord dragon, we finally have him. Now, of course, the dragon isn't the main thing of the set. We've also gotten some minifigures, so let's look at that right now. Alright, here are the minifigures in this set. First and foremost, we got Golden Lloyd here. We have gotten Golden Lloyd before in the Golden Dragon. I think he was also in the Golden Mech set, so he's not really that new. He's not super common, but he's definitely not new at all. So here he is with his sword. His headband is still green apparently. That is his Ninjago movie face as always. And so yeah, definitely I'm not too keen on the Legacy Golden Lloyd. I do prefer the OG Golden Lloyd a lot better. And speaking of which, here he is, the OG Golden Lloyd from the OG Golden Dragon. So you can see why I prefer the OG. But yeah, so that's Lloyd. Not so interesting, but this was completely unexpected. They remade a brand new version of the Overlord. So this is kind of a mixture between the original Overlord minifigure as well as the Legacy Overlord minifigure. Hence the torso, or the bottom here, which they used the ghost-like, legs. The ghost bottom. So this isn't the first Legacy Overlord they've done. This is the other one they've made in the past when he appeared in 2 other sets, I think. Forgot which one. One of them is Golden Dragon. Oh, the other one's Thunder Raider. That's what it is. And of course, this version, the Overlord looks a lot more like possessed Garmadon, because it kind of is. 4 arms, samurai helmet. So there's that. So that's the original Legacy Overlord, but then they did another version of the Legacy Overlord. This one looks a lot more like the rebooted Overlord with the Crusader helmets, and he's shooting some lightning. I guess he's stolen some powers from Palpatine. He's got some lightning coming out. Here's his head. That's a pretty mean smile. He looks more cheerful than evil. Maybe I'm just seeing things wrong, but he doesn't really look that evil to me, in my opinion. And after all, the Overlord is supposed to be one of the worst villains ever in Ninjago. So I'm trying to. I will say though, I think this is a nice addition. This Overlord is not as complex as the OG Overlord, like this Overlord, but obviously this won't hit the spot like the OG Overlord from 2014. So it is nice though. I wasn't expecting this at all. Honestly, when I first saw the Overlord Dragon set name reveal, I thought it was just the Overlord plus Lloyd, but they have an Overlord minifigure as well, a brand new Overlord minifigure, in fact. So yeah, not bad. Uncalled for, but a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one, as Palpatine would say. So that is it for the minifigures. And of course, here's the box. Now, surprisingly, when I first imagined LEGO would do the Overlord Dragon, I thought it's gonna be like Ultra Dragon size and do a pretty big dragon, like a pretty big $100 set. Turns out, well, when it became a reality, it turns out that wasn't the case. Instead, they made it much smaller, almost like the original Golden Dragon size, and kept it at a $40 Canadian price range. So this is how big the box is. And the box is honestly a lot smaller than I thought. I'm not even kidding. So the set 71742 with 372 pieces. What I love though about the set, this box, is the background is taking place in with Lloyd charging his golden powers. You got the 2 versions of the Overlord, the minifigure and the dragon, flying over Ninjago City, about to duke it out. So that's pretty nice. This set does not have any Legacy minifigures. I'm just gonna point out there. If you're here to collect the Legacy minifigures, this set doesn't have them. You can skip out on this set if you want. Here's the back of the box, showing you all the play features, and of course the scene from the season of Lloyd showing, we're fighting it out with the Overlord Dragon. So there's that. So that is it for this small $40 set box. So the first major complaint I've seen a lot from watching other people's reviews on the set is the fact that it's too small, and it lacks, because, well, obviously people have expectations after seeing the monstrosity of the dragon in the show. The Overlord Dragon was a massive beast, and Lloyd basically had to deal with what is essentially a thing that is 10 times bigger than him. Yeah, I get it. It would have been nice to see a really big and lots of pieces and very nicely detailed Overlord Dragon. We've seen people create mocks on the Overlord Dragon, which is also much bigger than what we've officially gotten. But I personally think this is decently sized. I think this is probably why they made the Legacy Golden Dragon a lot smaller than the original. Therefore, it stays in scale, because after all, the Overlord Dragon is a lot bigger than the Golden Dragon, and it stays within an affordable range. Because if they did a super big Overlord Dragon, which is like bigger, almost like Ultra Dragon sized, then it will most definitely pass the $100 price range, and it will be a pretty expensive set, and it'll be hard for people to afford it, and it'll be hard for a lot of people to get it, because the Overlord Dragon is a highly requested thing by the Ninjago fans, and not everyone can afford sets over $100. So I think this is good fan service. The price is decent. This is 40 Canadian dollars, and I think the price is worth every cent of what you get out of here. Size is pretty decent, and yeah, just for a small $40 set like this, you got some pretty nice. It's already a lot going on, and I definitely appreciate the Overlord figure. was uncalled for. It's nice seeing a new version of the Overlord figure, although the dragon is the Overlord himself, so but still, it's nice. So definitely this set deserves a great 10 out of 10. My 7 years of waiting for this guy to become a dragon, to become an official set, has finally paid off. I was one of those people, and I was a little child back then when I saw the Overlord dragon fight Lloyd. I was like, oh, Lego's gotta make a set on this. So this hits differently. This is my childhood finally being brought to life. So that is it for this one. If the same things happen to you guys, well, feel free to share it in the comments. And as for this one, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to see the other Ninjago Legacy stuff that I've done before this, be sure to check it out in the playlists available on this channel. So that's it for this one. We'll talk to you again later. Have a great day. See you in the next one.